Hey guys, welcome back to Crypto Serious. So today, let's take another look at the price action for Bitcoin and Ethereum. First off, looking at the daily chart for Bitcoin. Yesterday, Bitcoin successfully broke above the key $120,000 level. The high reached $121,111, and even the daily close stayed above $120,000. Now, today we saw a quick pullback, but then an equally quick recovery. So overall, Bitcoin is holding right where we expected, sitting firmly at that key $120,000 zone. And of course, the big question everyone's asking is, should we be taking profits here? Or is it time to flip short? What's the next move from here? Well, let's break it down. We've been talking about this for a while now. Bitcoin has formed a W bottom pattern. There are two important features here. The second bottom is higher than the first one. The second rally upward has been much stronger and faster than the first, which was slower and choppier. And what does that tell us? It shows that bears didn't have much resistance left on this second leg up. The washout phase was thorough, and many shorts were forced to cover, either voluntarily or through liquidations, which kept pushing the price higher. So, now that we've pushed this far, I think there's a very high probability we're going to test the previous all-time high. In fact, I expect Bitcoin to at least reach around $127,000, which matches the 1-to-1 measured move target of this W bottom. Now, will it get there in just a straight line moonshot, like in just 2 or 3 days? Probably not. The probability of a direct rocket move is pretty low, because we're already trading at a pretty elevated level. So yeah, bulls and bears will probably start clashing a bit here. Some bulls will even take profit around this zone. Personally, I've already taken partial profit here, and my plan is to take another partial around the old all-time high. The rest of my position, I'll just let it ride, because if we break higher, I want to be in for the move to new highs. Now, could we still see a pullback? Absolutely. One key level I'm watching is $117,950. If Bitcoin pulls back there, I'll actually look to add to my longs. That's my plan. Scale back in on a dip, then ride it higher. But if Bitcoin just stays strong and doesn't really give us a pullback entry, then that's fine too. Sometimes in strong trends, the market just doesn't give easy reload zones. Switching down to the 1-hour chart. Some traders tried shorting here and here, but let me explain why I didn't. First, price had support along the lower trend line. When Bitcoin first rejected and came back down, it held the bottom trend line and bounced. That was bullish. Second, in strong trends, a fake breakout short setup usually requires 2 failed tops. You want to see a second rally that fails and then breaks down past the first low. That's your short signal. But that didn't happen. Bitcoin just kept pushing higher. Even when price pulled back again later, it held above the wick lows, consolidated, and then broke higher. That's not a short setup. That's continuation strength. So that's why I stayed away from shorting. All right, now let's talk about Ethereum. First, looking at the Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio. We mentioned before that the Fibonacci 0.618 was a really key support. And right from there, Ethereum started to strengthen against Bitcoin. On the daily chart, Ethereum has also been very strong. It faced some resistance at the lower trend line, pulled back slightly, and then continued pushing up. At the upper trend line, again a bit of resistance, but overall still trending higher. So what's next? I think Ethereum also has a high probability of testing its previous high. If Bitcoin breaks to new highs, Ethereum will most likely follow and catch up with a strong move of its own. If Ethereum does pull back first, I'll be watching for dip buying opportunities around $4,260, maybe slightly higher depending on how price reacts. That's where I'd consider adding to longs. So yeah, to sum up, Bitcoin is holding strong above $120,000, likely aiming for $127,000 in the bigger picture. Ethereum is also gaining strength and could follow Bitcoin toward new highs. All right, guys, that's all for today's update. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe to Crypto Serious and follow me on Twitter for more real-time insights. Catch you in the next one.